Boker Tov, good morning. It's wonderful to be here together this morning. And I'm not one of them, but I have a feeling it will be a very tired morning for a lot of people in Toronto, as I woke up to see that sadly the Blue Jays lost in 18 innings last night. That's really a, uh, a difficult but distracting moment. We're also focused on more serious and significant moments this morning, even as that is the focus of so many. But to one, to all, Boker Tov, welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Annette and Deborah and Seymour and Sean. Thanks for the cup of coffee, Sean, and to Anne as well. And thank you, Anne, that you're still thinking of the poem from last week. We have another one this week, if a little lighter in tone. But it's wonderful to be here together this morning. And so let's join together in reciting the translation of the prayer for gratitude of our physical selves and awakening today. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's continue with the prayer for the soul in Hebrew and in English. Let's make sure we're breathing deeply and letting it all the way out when we see a hey with a dot in it at the end of a word. Um, it means that we let that beforehand just bring all of our air out. Eloi neshama shenatata bi toahi, etavrata. אתה יצרת, אתה נפחת בי, ואתה משמרה בקרבי. כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי, מודה אני לפניך. אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותיי, ריבון כל המעשים, אדון כל הנשמות. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אשר בידו נפש כל חי, ורוח כל בשר איש. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my goal is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together, La Sok B'divrei Torah, to experience all kinds of Torah, ancient and modern. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Va'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu, v'fi amcha bet Yisrael, v'niyeh anachnu v'tze'etzaenu, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud Av V'Em, to honor fathers and mothers, Hugmilut Chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Bashkamat Beit HaMidrash Shacharit V'Arvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Bachnasat Ochim, to welcome the stranger. Bikul Cholim, to visit the sick. Bachnasat Kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayat Hamet, to keep faith with the dead. V'Yun Tfilah, to pray with sincerity. B'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Well, let us continue reciting our prayers together, and let's turn to Psalm 23, a psalm that speaks of beautiful places and restful moments, but at the same time acknowledges that even in all of our beautiful moments in life, that there are others who walk in the valley of the shadow of death, and that both are true simultaneously. The world is a place of sadness and loss and of beauty and blessing all at once. Please join me in the Hebrew and the English. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts that we might be witnesses. Baruch hu u'baruch shemo. Blessed is the one who decides that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy that we might live. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers that we might be redeemed. And so we join together in Mizmor David, in a song in the style of David, Adonai Roi lo echsar. With the Eternal as my shepherd, I shall want for nothing. I will lie down in a beautiful pasture. As I am led along restful waters, my soul will be restored. I will be guided along the paths of righteousness, serving God's higher purpose. Adonai Roi lo echsar. Even when I must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil when you are with me. Your strength and your support comfort me. When facing my enemies, your protection stretches out before me, sustaining mind and body. Adonai Roi lo echsar. Only goodness and mercy will pursue me there all the days of my life. I will live in God's presence for the rest of my days. And with that, those words of preparation, we join together in the words of Shema Yisrael, words that likewise we recite as the first traditional words of a young child, that are recited as the last words of our life, that are recited by a 13-year-old Jew beginning their adult journey and holding Torah, surrounded by family, friends, and community. And by those who fear that the next moment may be their last. In all of these moments, these words are with us, and so we join together with them, with one another, and with our people. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Well, as has been previously mentioned, today is a day where on Tuesdays we commonly look for 1 second, I'm just seeing if I can get another text loaded up properly. That's not bad. Where commonly we share poetry from Rich Orloff. And I want to do the same again today, and especially reflecting on this time of year textually. that this time of year, the beginning of the cycle of Torah reading, is characterized by the profound and amazing stories of Genesis. These stories that continue to amaze and inspire and challenge um, after uh, after millennia. And no matter how many times we think about them, there's always something new. And the deeper we look at them, the more we see they're not simplistic stories, but that in fact have meaningful opportunities for us uh, to reflect as well. And the story of the Garden of Eden is one likewise where the more we think about it, why would God place a tree in the midst of the garden from which humanity could not take? And so I want to share today Rich's reflection on Eden. I'll read it and then share a few thoughts, and then after a moment, read it again. A reflection on Eden. I realized today that perhaps I've been interpreting the Garden of Eden story wrong. Perhaps it's not about human failing, but about entrapment. Yes, Adam and Eve were instructed not to eat from the tree of knowledge, but their creator must have known how they would act. So either the Eternal was a sadistic tease, or at least a manipulative teacher. Perhaps God was saying, yes, I know paradise is attractive, but let's face it, you don't belong there. After all, if the Army Corps of Engineers were stationed in paradise, they'd want to reroute rivers and add dams. If real estate moguls lived in paradise, they'd want to build skyscrapers and charge extra for apartments with good views. If many religious leaders were in charge of paradise, they'd install a turnstile designed to keep most people out. And if I ruled paradise, not that I'm asking, I don't know exactly how I'd screw it up, but I'd become so stressed with the responsibility that I wouldn't enjoy it one bit. By putting the tree of knowledge in paradise, the Eternal had to know the consequences, which is more than can usually be said when human beings are placed in charge. I really appreciate Rich's sense of humor in general in a number of his writing, but the way he brings it to this story, I find very meaningful as well. How when we look around us, we have such trouble just being in a place instead of looking at it and just taking in the reality and the beauty of what it is. Especially, I appreciate the end of the second to last paragraph where he says that if he were in charge of paradise, he'd be so stressed with the responsibility that he wouldn't enjoy it one bit. We do need to take time and really experience the joy in our lives, as well as realize that we're not here with ultimate abilities. We're not here to control everything to make our difference while also taking joy in what is and modeling that for others in the world to come. Let's share this one more time, a reflection on Eden. I realized today, perhaps I'd been interpreting the Garden of Eden story wrong. Perhaps it's not about human failing, but about entrapment. Yes, Adam and Eve were instructed not to eat from the tree of knowledge, but their creator must have known how they would act. So either the Eternal was a sadistic tease, or at least a manipulative teacher, or perhaps God was saying, yes, I know paradise is attractive, but let's face it, you don't belong here. After all, if the Army Corps of Engineers were stationed in paradise, they'd want to reroute rivers and add dams. If real estate moguls lived in paradise, they'd want to build skyscrapers and charge extra for apartments with good views. If many religious leaders were in charge of paradise, they'd install a turnstile designed to keep most people out. And if I ruled paradise, not that I'm asking, I don't know exactly how I'd screw it up, but I'd become so stressed with the responsibility that I wouldn't enjoy it one bit. By putting the tree of knowledge in paradise, the Eternal had to know the consequences, which is more than can usually be said when human beings are placed in charge. Well, let's continue with Achenu. I've just been working on an updated version of Achenu, but it's not quite ready for this morning. But we join together in this traditional prayer that's said on Torah reading days as part of our liturgy. And so let's join in it this morning as well, adding not Achenu only, our brothers, but Achiotenu, our sisters. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, Achiotenu kol beit Yisrael. הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה, המקום ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומהפלה לאורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, פשטה ועגלה, ובזמן קריב, ונאמר Amen. Our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel, who may be in distress or captivity, whether over sea or on land, may the Eternal One, the ever-present One, have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from slavery to redemption, now swiftly and soon. And let us say, Amen. Well, it's meaningful for us to have the opportunity to be with one another in all of the different aspects of life that we're experiencing now, and also to be with those who we know continue to suffer due to the acts of those who choose evil. But for now, let's also honor those who continue to wear the uniforms, to stand on guard, and to continue to see that the situation for the people in the state of Israel will not return to what it was that allowed for the horrible assault of October the 7th. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי אל גוי חרב, ולא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד, ונאמר, אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Well, let's turn now to our prayer for healing for those who are in their last days or struggling for better days, for those in acute situations of illness, or those who are experiencing chronic difficulty or disability or pain. For each of them, for all of them, for the names given to me and given to Temple, for the names placed in the chat in this service and in other services, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו, להחלימם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and together we say, Amen. Well, it's very meaningful to take this time to connect and to reflect. And now, likewise, we take this moment to remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the last 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Brenda Thompson, Michael Lee, Aloysius Wirtz, and Sheila Rose. And it is our sad duty to report the death of our member, Estelle Waldman. Our hearts are with her four daughters and the entire family. May her memory be a blessing. Funeral arrangements likely for tomorrow are still being made through Benjamin's. We also remember all victims of terror and war, including terror victims Melvin Kravitz and Adrian Dalby, and the following IDF soldiers whose lives have been lost in the last 30 days: Inbal Avram Kav, Ita Yavetz, Yaniv Kula, Michael Mordechai Nachmani, Shmuel Gad Rachamim. And on Yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this sixth day of Cheshvan, the 28th of October, 2025, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Morris Devon, William Dick, John Feinberg, Ida Fortis, Faye Weaverman. Zichronam Levacha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh rabba, ve'alma devarach cheruteh ve'yamlech malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kari ve'mu, Amen. Yehe shmeh rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitomam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemedekudsha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma ve'mu. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chaim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'mu. Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav hu yaseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'mu. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, Boker Tov, and good to be with you this morning. And I look forward to our continued connections as we move forward. Please join us here on Boker Tov tomorrow. Boker